You certainly haven't seen all of the 125 years, but you're old enough now to have seen
Sure.
a lot of the recent decades.
Yes.
How has
Yes.
Grambling State University changed, and what do you think people are missing when they hear Grambling State University? What are some of the things they don't know?
Oftentimes, we, in the power of storytelling, and Will, you are a classically trained journalist, right? A leader in the field and pioneer with organizations like NABJ. What is the opening statement that gets a reader's attention? And oftentimes for Grambling, because of the deep legacy of athletics and world famed Tiger Marching Band, that may be the entrance.
Hmm.
Once you get through the front door, you get to experience the state's first cybersecurity program that's
Mhm.
had triple digit growth in the last 3 years
Mhm.
with 7 students at Salesforce, 4 or 5 at Meta, over 70 students in computer science who are at big tech companies just this summer. You get to understand that our nursing program for the past 4 years has had a 100% passage rate on the NCLEX. You get to remember that our education college had the first EDD in developmental ed and continues to produce leaders there, and that we have a PhD in justice administration. And Grambling continues to build leaders among leaders. And so wherever you start the Grambling story, just know that it's rich, it's full, and it's one that will keep you
I
engaged.
want to stay there on cyber though. Several years ago, we did a story here on tech and employment. There was a studies, especially, and I think I think it's really important to highlight that you're graduating and placing so many people in the tech,
Absolutely.
one of the growing industry, because what we knew, the study that I highlighted several years ago was that African American kids were graduating about 10% in tech and in cyber and in digital, but only being employed at 4%. And you
Mm-hmm.
guys have found a niche where the
Yes.
Grambling students are actually. So what was different there, and how did y'all make a dent in that when in many cases other major universities, even though African American youth were graduating with these
Yes.
technical degrees, they weren't being placed in finding employment. How did you guys become so successful?
And we're on that journey. So we are embedding experiential learning and opportunities for internships, co-ops,
Hmm.
practicums as early as the first year.
Okay,
So getting a head start and having students really know the art of networking,
good point.
utilizing tools like LinkedIn, embedding conference particular funding sources for students to
Mm.
go to diverse audiences where talent is looking for students with the right expertise, but the right type of engagement and social fabric. And it really becomes an ongoing conversation for students at each interval in their career to say, hey, if you didn't get the internship this summer, what research can you develop and partner with a faculty member on? Because that will strengthen your case for next summer's intern.
Awesome. Well, you guys I mean, and that is a number that is out there that you're familiar with because you guys have found
Yes.
initially impacted. And I'm just hoping that maybe y'all can share some of y'all sauce with some of these other institutions and they'll follow your lead because y'all have done a tremendous job at getting, especially in the growing industry that we
Great.
the digital age, we can't live without it. The other thing, I think you were successful, Grambling's largest corporate gift and your focus on fiscal health when many
Yes.
HBCUs and smaller universities has been a problem. Talk about why the audience needs to know that not only will kids graduate in certain fields and have opportunity, but that the fiscal health of the university has been stronger under you and getting better.
Absolutely. When we think about the arc of history for HBCUs, during Reconstruction, there were over 300 HBCUs.
Hmm.
Today we stand at just over 100. And when we think through accreditation lenses, financial sustainability has always been a core focus. We can spend a whole nother segment about
Hmm.
the dynamics of funding and the disparities that go along with that. where we have to focus our talent and our energy on today is how do we make the best decisions in support of the university as an ecosystem and an enterprise.
Great
Yes,
point.
we exist for a mission, but we also have to have a balanced approach. Grambling was fortunate through the pandemic aid package to have its debt for student housing portfolio eliminated. That essentially at that point gave us a balance sheet that was healthy, allowed us to now focus on reinvestment in academic programs and infrastructure and support for student success. And so when we think about that, what does that do for the next chapter? It sets us up for a space to inspire more investment from the philanthropic community, from our alumni community, from corporate foundation. And so we're very thankful for all of the support, federal, state, alumni, corporate, to achieve this mission.
So, as you know, I was up there for several years. Enjoyed how the
Absolutely.
Grand
And
fam.
he's got on his Grambling shirt
I
right
do.
now.
Awesome.
Well, I
Awesome,
tell
awesome.
people all the time, because they ask me, well, did you go to Grambling? And I said, no.
You went to
But
Hampton.
I worked there. I went to Hampton.
Hampton.
He's,
Yeah.
And I've
he's
got
a
a,
Hampton man. That's
yeah,
right.
absolutely. But
But
I have more
Will, you're
Grambling.
always talking about Grambling, and,
Yeah,
that's a fact. He went to Hampton, but he rarely. I'm not saying he rarely he's proud,
Yeah, I
but
mention
but
him
he's
sometimes.
always talking about Grambling.
Yeah, when I am out and about, people ask, "Well, did you go to Grambling?" It's like, well, here's the thing. I am from an HBCU family. We've been in a lot of different
That's right.
schools. I went to Hampton. I'm all love for HBCUs, and I have more Grambling gear than I have Hampton gear.
Yeah,
So
I know.
so-
I've never seen you with a Hampton
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
yet. I had not yet.
Well, that's because I have far fewer. But look, Dr. Lamel, in
Yes.
my tenure there, a lot of alums have great memories of the A.C. Lewis Memorial Library. And one of the things that was happening then at that time was infrastructure issues and plans to transition to a future-focused library. And it wasn't the same. It isn't the same size. Can you talk about
Right.
that idea and that focus with today's students and educators in mind?
So we have the first digital library at an HBCU and in the state of Louisiana, where when you walk into that space, you will see more opportunities to collaborate, immersive technology, opportunities to ensure that students have spaces for interview prep for that next job, to do their research, to possibly file their patent or trademark for their intellectual property. And that A.C. Lewis Memorial Library, such a rich part of Grambling's history, reached an inflection where we had to move into the next era. And so we're bridging some of the collections that were in A.C. Lewis, some wonderful Clementine Hunter pieces, some African art. A lot of our archives will be housed in the digital library, but you will also not see the Dewey Decimal System. Right? You will interact sometimes with a kiosk versus a librarian for
Right.
what we call tier one concerns. And so we are bridging what looks like the future for Grambling State University students and the community. We've got a lot of great community programming happening in the digital library. We recently hosted Charles Blow for a wonderful talk around his book, Fire Shut Up in My Bones. And we'll have more events at the digital library coming in the future.
Well, I just hope we don't eventually get to a virtual or AI president. So we want to.
I'm enjoying my job.
Yeah,
but
we
not-
want to
not
keep.
just yet.
Yeah, we want to keep. Look, and as old school, someone who understands the advantages of digital. There has to be a healthy balance. Grambling has maintained that healthy balance, and I think it's a tool to be an asset, not a replacement, because there's a lot of fear out there amongst our young people.
Yeah.
All right, Dr.
Yeah,
Lamel, we're
there
going to
is.
take a break, and I hope you have just a few more minutes so we can talk about a
I
couple
do.
other things,
I do.
exciting things. happening at Grambling State University. We go into break. It's 8:21 a.m. I'm Will Sutton.
They call him the solutions president. You can say what you want, but Dr. Lamel wants to know what's the outcome, bro.
All right. We got Oliver Thomas, special treat for y'all today.
Oh,
He's
my
back.
goodness.
He's back. And we're going to
today.
be going to break. The talk line number is
504-582-9422, man. We have probably one of the most outstanding young educators in the world today. Give us a call. If you got a question, it's something you want us to ask him, give us a call at 504-582-9422. WBOK.
12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about
all day long.
Wednesday morning headlines for you. Happening today, we are expecting to hear from Attorney General Liz Murrill for the first time since we learned a grand jury has been convened to investigate her. This is a rare occurrence as members of the grand jury in Orleans Parish initiated the investigation into Murrill themselves. Sources say they are looking into Murrill's allegedly threatening statements sent to elected leaders in New Orleans. Sources say the investigation is connected to letters Murrill sent to New Orleans city leaders warning they could lose their positions over their attempt to install a competing Orleans Parish clerk of court. We emailed the AG's office for reaction, and we got an email saying that Murrill has no comment. Well, happening today, a historic change at the lakefront. The former UNO, now known as LSU New Orleans, will officially transition into the LSU system. This marks a new chapter for the school system, its students, and alumni. And also happening today, the new mayors of Kenner and Slidell, along with other elected leaders, will take the oath of office. And that is a look for you at your Wednesday morning headlines. I'm Elizabeth Kubel for WBOK. Have a great day, everyone.
Come close. No, closer. Have you heard about the new blues show? It's the Blues Buffet with Jay Boogie, serving up all the blues you love to listen to.
Hey, New Orleans, it's Jay Boogie inviting you to join me for the Blues Buffet, the best soul blues mix on the planet. Happening Saturday night at 9 o'clock, right here at 12:30 a.m. WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Guess what, y'all? Community Book Center, after 14 years, is once again the official bookstore of the 2026 Essence Festival. I'm Vera Warren Williams, founder of Community Book Center. Please join us at the Ernest Morial Convention Center, July 3rd through the 5th, for Black culture's biggest weekend. We also invite you to visit our store at 2523 Bayou Road, along with the other Black businesses on historic Bayou Road. Community Book Center, more than a bookstore.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan. A heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Heat advisory along with storms today. Highs 90 to 96 degrees, feeling like 105 to 110. The scattered storms are expected throughout the day, although not everyone will see them. If you do, expect a lot of lightning along with some heavy downpours and some strong winds. For tonight, we're expecting lows 74 to 80 degrees. Most of the rain should be out of the area. And for Thursday, expect highs 89 to 95. Feeling slightly warmer than that. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Rishaw.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Will Sutton. It is 8:26 a.m. You got somewhere to be at 8:30. I hope you're close, and but be safe. Be safe on your way wherever you're going. And remember, if you got a doctor's appointment, don't be late. You know, if the 10 minutes come, they're going to say, nope, can't see
And
you.
it's not the people who are on time fault.
Yeah.
If you're late, don't get mad at them because they left in time and they're taking their time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And don't tell your boss the same story.
No. Right. Mix it up a little bit.
Mix it up.
You don't have 4 mother-in-laws that died. Come on now. All right. 8:27 a.m. We're in conversation with Grambling State University President Dr. Martin Lamel. And right before the break, Dr. Lamel, we're having a good conversation about your digital library and cyber program. But one of the things I want to talk about is y'all had some good news, big news, I think, just a few days ago, announcing a 3x3
program.
What is that? And tell us about it.
Hello?
Hello? Okay, we appear to have lost him for a moment. I don't think it will take much time. We definitely want to get him back on the line. And we've got some calls as well. And I'm sure they want to make sure that Dr. Lamel hears what they have to say. And so we've got Dr. Lamel back on now. Okay, we're reconnected. Good morning again, Dr. Lamel. How are you?
Good morning.
All right.
Wonderful.
So
wonderful.
So one of the things that happened just a few days ago was the announcement of a fabulous 3x3 program. What is that? Tell us about it.
It's an opportunity for students to choose 2 HBCUs at one time. You would choose Grambling State University for your undergraduate education and Southern University Law Center to pursue your JD. It eliminates 1 year in that cumulative pathway, which is a return on investment for students and families and generations to come. It's an anchoring space where you would receive support for your LSAT, career preparation, and guidance towards the JD pathway. And we're really excited that Chancellor Washington and the team at SU Law Center and our team at Grambling State University have this great opportunity to partner for what is going to be a new chapter in legal education in this country.
So if I'm a mom or a dad and my child, my high school child, has shown an interest in the legal profession and, they want them to explore a little bit, but it looks like law might be the pathway. Is it okay for them to come to Grambling State University, explore a couple of other things, and maybe declare in second semester freshman or sophomore year, or do they need to know that going in?
We want them to have an intention going in, so students will be able to start this journey as early as fall of 27. We are identifying 3 major areas: our criminal justice track, our sociology track, and then history. So students would be in those pathways because the curriculum mapping has been completed to allow for that, what would typically be the senior year, to be the first year at Southern University Law Center. So you do have a pathway through those first 2 years to really hone in on, this is definitely a direction I want to go in. You'll get some of those pre-law seminars. You'll have an opportunity to meet people within the profession. And then when we get to that 3rd year, that's really when we want to make sure that you're prepared to take that journey.
So do they get a Grambling State University degree?
They do. So you will receive that Grambling State University degree after the completion of the 120 credits, with those final credits being completed in what would typically be the senior year at Southern University Law Center. And so you would have that experience in Baton Rouge, and then we invite you, if you so choose, to come back to the stage at Grambling and participate in commencement exercises that spring. So you would receive that Grambling State University undergraduate degree, and then have your pathway already laid out, your decision already made to be a part of the Southern University Law Center.
So do students need to be on the campus of Grambling State University and then at the Southern Law Center, or do they need to commute? How does that work out?
Yes. So students would be a part of our residential campus at Grambling State University. We do have a variety of hybrid courses and online courses within those 3 undergraduate programs. So you can have it your way, right, in a very a la carte fashion.
Yeah, but housing,
pick your degree path.
Yeah, but housing is offered though, right? At that opportunity.
Housing is definitely offered on the campus of Grambling State University. And then there are limited spaces, but growing opportunities in the Baton Rouge market. Should a student also want to explore housing at Southern University Law Center.
Wonderful, wonderful. I like the idea of the 3 tracks as well.
Right.
Because some people might be interested in, kind of like going to medical school. You
Yeah,
go to medical school,
absolutely.
you know you want to be a doctor. It's like, then you find out there's all kinds of doctors.
Yeah, but let me say this, especially about Dr. Lamella's on the phone. I'm extremely excited about the policy part of it, right? And, I've been seeing a lot of people on social media and politically these days talking to people, and Dr. Lamella, this is really important to me, especially as an historian, about voting and the importance of voting.
Yes.
Voting is just one tool in the toolbox, right? So and especially given this environment, I was so excited when I saw that you guys were about policy is there no matter, and the laws are there no matter who's elected, right? And I've seen folk on social media, 500 out of 600 voted. That meant 100 people didn't vote. And if you got 20% voted, that meant 80% didn't. And if you subtract 1 plus 2, that'd leave 1, so the other 1 didn't vote. All that sounds good, but you know, we got the Civil Rights Act and then the Housing Act and ERA and the 13th Amendment. If nobody voted, those laws were impacted, right? So that folk couldn't be discriminated against and taken advantage. So though people are in love with the math about voting and who didn't vote now, there has to be an effort to affect public policy. Black codes, Jim Crow laws, all of those laws that excluded people from the economy, from housing, from all of the opportunities on this earth. How important is it that we begin to focus on public policy and what happens in Congress, what happens in the legislature, what happens in town halls as it relates to policy and the law?
You are spot on. And, you know, when you get past the social media debate, which can be a catalyst for positive conversation, when we prepare our communities with the right information, that pathway for legal education, or whether that's the Master's in Public Administration that we offer at Grambling, prepares practitioners and scholars to be those informants within the community. So when you're at your place of worship over the weekend, you can have a conversation. When you're at your community meetings, when you're connecting with your fraternity or sorority brothers, you have an informed perspective that's enlightening and then inspires action. When I think about the pathway that has been set organically, whether it's been a Jared Evans who worked for the Legal Defense Fund, undergraduate degree at Grambling, Southern University Law Center degree, Stephanie Finley, right? All the work that she's been able to do and the appointments she's had across the sector, Grambling, Southern University Law Center, Rick Gallo, Grambling, Southern University Law Center, Alvin Washington, and the list goes on. And so we have to be a part and active participant in democracy at every stage.
And Will, that's important because
it is. Absolutely.
Because if no one voted, right, but the law says you can't discriminate against them. You have to provide housing for them. You have to provide equal opportunity for them. You have to provide shelter and economic opportunities for them. Then they would be protected. But if 100% of the people voted, and we didn't have Civil Rights Act, we didn't have the 68 Housing Act, we didn't have the amendments that protect people, 100% of the people could vote. But there would be nothing in the law to demand that it's like Shell versus May, Dr. Lamell.
Yeah, and that's why we need
case
lawyers.
studies.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
That's why we need lawyers.
It's important.
Yep.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
All right. So we've got a couple of calls, Dr. Lamel. Let's hear from Reverend Calhoun. Good morning, Reverend Calhoun. You are on with Will Sutton, OT,
Mayor.
and Dr. Lamel from
the
Grambling
mayor
State University.
of the Ninth Ward.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I'm so glad to hear of the collaboration between Grambling and Southern University. I think that's what's really needed. You know, and it's great. Grambling, even after, you know, they done got all these whipping by Southern, that they're still willing to.
Where's the grace and mercy?
He's already identified himself.
But
Which
my
I can
question
appreciate.
is,
It's
President
all
Lamel, have there been any state funding cuts to Grambling in this legislative session? Is Grambling, I think they're in West Monroe's Mr. Morris district. Was there any monies that he saw to make sure that Grambling got some funding from the state? And I don't know if you can answer that or not, but that's the kind of the thoughts I have this morning. So I'm going to get out the way and just make sure that we keep going. Oliver, it's good to hear from you. You know, maybe when you get, you know, time, you ought to come down and visit the poor folks in the lower 9.
Well, I think I think because my family has property there, I think I'm down there every week. You know, I'm always.
When your big shots get up, you know,
I'll never forget, Dr. Lamel. I was hosting an event in the lower 9 for 500 seniors when my mom used to go, and there was an event 2 blocks away, and there was a young man who was saying, "Man, we never see Oliver." I was 2 blocks away with his grandmother. So that sounds good, but when you're from a place, you got to be at that place.
All right. Dr. Lamel, we're going to let you answer that question.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let me just make sure that Reverend Calhoun and others know that Grambling State University is in the Senate District 29. That's Senator Jay
Leno. Yes.
Leno, yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so
Funding.
We are very appreciative of this year's legislative session and the support for Grambling State University. Senator Luno, Representative Rashid Young, our delegation really helped us, one, focus on the priorities that were most critical. Deferred maintenance was a line item that was continued for funding, and that's across higher education. We were fortunate to receive additional funding to support a new criminal justice building. Criminal justice is our largest program at Grambling State University with degrees through the PhD. And so we have additional funding to support construction of that facility, as well as our second funding source to support an indoor athletic facility. So we received funding for those 2 buildings last year to do the initial design work. Design is underway, and now we will start to plant the seeds for construction. We're excited about the opportunity to leverage those physical infrastructure investments to inspire new growth for the institution. And it's always, each legislative session, an opportunity for us to share the good news and the story of Grambling. So very successful legislative session, and thankful that we were on the right end, of the funding formula for this particular session.
All right, great. We got another caller. Good morning, Don. You're on with Will Sutton, OT, and Dr. Lamel from Grambling State University.
What you say, Big Don?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
man.
Good morning. I'm in High Cotton this morning. But look, 2 observations. One is congratulations to the New York Knickerbockers for winning the first NBA championship since 1973, when a gentleman named Willis Reed from Bernice, Louisiana, Grambling State University, led them to 2 championships, one in 1970 and one in 1973, where he was named MVP in both finals. Grambling State's own Willis Reed. But one other quick observation before I ask this question. The Space City Classic was in Houston for years, between Grambling State University and Texas Southern University. Grambling, Louisiana is about 7,000 people, I think, right now, maybe a little less or more. About 7,000 people reside in Grambling. But yet, when the Space City Classic was in Houston and Astrodome, you had 50,000 people for Grambling. Do the math. But you said something, Doctor, good doctor from Grambling. You said something about Grambling State University 3-3 program with Southern University Law. I think that you may reconsider the issue of law school for those who major in the STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, because patent lawyers or even patent agents with this advancement of technology especially can work for law firms or be patent attorneys or patent agents with the United States Patent Trademark Office, by the way, which was prominently held by Henry Edwin Baker out of Mississippi, Columbia, Mississippi. But I think you need to reconsider. Look at the future and the dynamics of becoming a patent lawyer, attorney, but you have to have a technical undergraduate or either a master's degree or even a PhD. But you have to have a STEM background, and those are some very lucrative and powerful positions when you become a patent attorney or even a patent agent to represent those great inventors, which, by the way, blacks in the great industrial revolution had 50,000 patents with no formal education.
All right, Don. We're going to
Thank you,
hear
Don. Big
Dr.
Don.
Lamel. Really appreciate that, man. Lord's blessings. Have a good day. Dr. Lamel?
He is a window into the next iteration. So we are under development for additional pathways. One of those pathways, as the good brother mentioned, is within the STEM discipline. Just two quick nuggets around that. We have a partnership with University of Iowa Law Center that allows for transfer opportunities and connection with them. One of our alums, Alex Lodge, received his degree in chemistry from Grambling and ultimately went to law school there and is a patent attorney today. As we think about IP, we recently also secured our federal trademark for the iconic Grambling G that now exists in collaboration with other entities in the NFL and collegiate athletics who have similar marks, but allows for us to maintain the mark based on our unique color and branding. And so, yes, he's spot on. And yes, go Knicks. We love Willis Reed and the Reed family. The Knicks have been great partners for Grambling State University each year. They do a special opportunity to honor his legacy with us in New York. So go Knicks.
Dr. Lamel, I understand you're going to be in New Orleans and some other Graham fam going to be in New Orleans at Essence Fest this weekend. I'm sure there will be some things that you all will be doing for socialization, recruiting, and fundraising and having the Southern Louisiana Graham fam get together. But is there any place where people can see you?
Well, I'm hoping Dr. Lamel stops by our company suite, man. Stop by, and we'll be looking for you at the Essence Festival, Dr. Lamel.
I will take you up on that invitation. It's an exciting time. Essence is such a great event in the city of New Orleans. It's almost a lead up to the great event we have in November, Bayou Classic. But I'll be on a panel on Sunday at the Convention Center focusing on what they don't teach you in class, the real education of an HBCU. So I'll be on the Essence stage in the Convention Center at noon on Sunday. So looking forward to that.
Hey, well, young man, keep doing what you're doing. Your solutions-oriented background is extremely important, especially when you talk about the diaspora today and your ability to hone in on corporate relationships and what you're doing with cyber and tech graduates right now, setting the example, especially for African-American young men and women. So, hey, man, whenever we can help you, let us know. And I didn't graduate from Grambling, but as Grambling goes, a lot of the people in our community go. So we appreciate you.
We are stronger together. Thank you, gentlemen, so much.
All right. Lord's blessings, sir. Have a fabulous day. All right, folks. Good conversation with Grambling State University President Martin Lamel. Doing great things up there in North Louisiana.
Yeah, and I mean, it's first of all, I didn't go to HBCU where I was offered the opportunity to play ball.
Absolutely,
folk pay for it, but I'm such a big fan of what they do. He is really distinguishing himself as an educator. But Rick Gallo is unbelievable. We have some great heads of institutions. I like the 3+3 program. I like what he's doing in cyber, in tech especially, and that's a growth opportunity. What Don said, and expanding opportunities there, man. It's an exciting time. And look, go where you want it, you know. And ain't nothing wrong with being where you need it. And if HBCUs are opening up their arms to kids and for opportunities, especially from our community, you don't have to take a back seat or get a secondary education. You can get the best education and opportunity.
Absolutely. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, what just happened? The Los Angeles Lakers losing.
LeBron
James, the king.
LeBron
I am going to play in the NBA, but I ain't going to play with you. Y'all. Woo! Okay, let's talk about it right after the break. Hopefully we'll get Ro Brown in on this conversation. That is big, huge NBA news. We're going to talk about it. Even if you're not an NBA fan, you know the name. LeBron James.
Well, you know I am.
All right.
I don't have a jumper no more, but my set shot works.
All right. This is WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about
all day long.
It's off the top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Just how badly did Trump trash the White House? Well, let me count the ways. The New York Times editorial describes the UFC Freedom 250 blood sports event on the White House lawn as a garish spectacle of American decline. The Independent News op-ed condemned the event as an unserious American cage fight. That's right, a $60 million UFC-sponsored brawl on the White House lawn to celebrate Trump's 80th birthday and a tribute to the nation's 250th anniversary. The country's 250th anniversary notwithstanding, this was all about Trump, along with the billionaire sycophants and others who came to pay homage to the would-be king. As a former CBS News White House correspondent, I'm accustomed to the pomp and circumstance of ceremonial receptions held in honor of dignitaries, both national and international. But I was stunned to see the People's House transformed into a beer-chugging brawl fest devoid of class and dignity. There were fights inside the ring, and then there was a drunken brawl outside the ring that resulted in an arrest. But perhaps the lowest point of the event occurred when UFC fighter Josh Hokett stood in the middle of the ring and called former First Lady Michelle Obama a man. The White House offered no apology. Nonetheless, the comment by Hokett drew widespread criticism. The remark, of course, is untrue, transphobic, and racist. But remember, Trump has also disparaged the Obamas, even posting an image of the former president and former First Lady as primates on social media. In addressing the insults regarding the Obamas and the debacle on the White House lawn, podcaster Charlemagne the God put it best, saying, "The Obamas set a masterclass standard for decency, poise, and intelligence. And now, with Trump, that bar is in hell." This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Attention, WBOK listeners. Are you a fan of the station and want to show your support and style? Well, we've got some exciting news for you. Introducing the official WBOK merchandise, the perfect way to wear your love for the station. Whether you're a longtime listener or a new fan, we've got something for everyone. Head to WBOK1230.com now and grab your WBOK gear before it's gone. When you buy WBOK merch, you're not just getting quality items, you're supporting the station you love.
Real talk. I look forward to Essence Festival every single year. This year, July 3rd through the 5th. New Orleans Essence Festival of Culture is back for 2026 and is presented by Coca-Cola. This lineup, man, Cardi B, Patti LaBelle, Brandy and Monica together, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic, Kalani, Lotto, Leon Thomas, Public Enemy, and Babyface. I need you to understand what this weekend feels like. The energy, the fashion, and man, oh man, the food. New Orleans is already magic, and Essence makes it super natural. However you're getting there, wherever you're coming from, you need to be in that building July 3rd through the 5th. Go to essencefestival.com right now. Get your tickets. Do not wait.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. We got a few more minutes before we get on our way for the front porch. It's 8:52 a.m. I'm Will Sutton here with Oliver Thomas. We're going to jump into a combo with Ro Brown. Ro Brown, what the heck just happened?
Row your boat gently
LeBron
down the
James
Tupelo Canal.
Leaving the Lakers?
I know.
What?
Good morning.
What?
Good morning.
You caught that, Ro.
I caught that. I caught it, OT. Okay,
Is this
first of all,
for
if you don't have
real?
a lot of time. Wait. If you don't have a lot of time,
Go ahead.
a couple of things I need to say. It's really good to hear OT on the radio. Not saying he needs to be on the radio every day. I'm not saying that. But it's just good to hear. No, really. No, people need to hear what OT knows, what OT, Negro Damas and all that stuff. I mean, people need to listen to him, okay? He knows what he's talking about and everything. And in case I don't get it in, I got to say, that Roger Cato died yesterday. Roger Cato was the legendary baseball coach at Southern University. One of the nicest human beings you'd ever want to meet.
Thank you for
really
getting that out.
Coach and the whole works. I just wanted to get that in before we get to LeBron. Now, what you want?
But how blockbuster is this piece? Did you expect it? I thought he was going back. Most of the experts were saying Hollywood is where he wants to be. Explain it, Ro, please.
Yeah, I thought he was going to stay. I thought he was going to stay. I really did. I thought he was going to remain there in L.A. I think I think, and I'm probably wrong, I'm usually wrong in this, I think that he, genuinely, wants to play what I heard people say yesterday, meaningful basketball at the end. Meaning, being in playoffs. Yeah. And being in position to at least win
have
another
a chance.
Championship.
Yeah.
To have a chance, yeah. And I think that he thinks there are other places where he could go, where he would have a better chance at this point to do that. Not that the Lakers would be bad, but just, I think being swept by Oklahoma City in the playoffs and just looking at the disparity between the two teams, I think, that had a lot to do with it. But that's just my opinion.
Okay.
That's what I think.
So breaking news right here, Ro. Your sources. Where is he most likely? Top one or two places? Or three?
See, that's not a fair question.
Who says I'm fair?
And it's not a fair question to ask because I don't care if he wins anything.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But I would love to see him and Steph Curry play together.
Absolutely. Just to see a season of them together.
I'm being selfish.
I agree. I am too.
I just love to see that.
I am too.
Okay, see them play a whole season together. I mean, you saw it a little bit in the Olympics in Paris, but I just be glad to see that.
I think that would be huge swan song for them both, and huge for the league, especially with their global appeal. I'm with you.
Right. But a couple of things, that I know that you will, and Oliver knows, but we're talking about this because, I've never, I have my idea who's the GOAT. Everybody always talks about who's the GOAT in the NBA and that kind of thing. I mean, I have, my own personal idea of what it is, but I don't think there's any question that LeBron James has had the greatest career in the history of the NBA.
I agree.
Okay.
And as an athlete.
Career.
No doubt.
And Time Magazine does their top 100, every year. Of course, he's, considered by Time Magazine the greatest athlete of the century.
I agree.
The century is only 26 years old, but he's the greatest athlete of the century. But he's also always in the most influential 100 people in Time Magazine. He's been in that.
I'm with
more
you.
than any other athlete.
Yeah, Ro, I'm with you, and I have this debate with people, especially being a former athlete. But in terms of the GOAT is more than just on the court or what he does on the field. But I agree with you. And now I have, in terms of basketball player, I have my GOAT. But in terms of professional athlete and their impact, LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So do we stand a chance with the Pelicans? Is there a narrow pathway for us to get it?
Pelicans got some good players.
No. To get LeBron?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No. What?
No.
No.
No. Do Pelicans have a chance in the league? Yeah, they can be competitive, but they're not getting LeBron.
All right.
LeBron ain't coming into the gumbo.
Okay. All right.
But you see, Oliver, what you just said about, and that's, I've always been partial to athletes who have had some sort of social conscience.
Mm-hmm.
Always, my favorite athletes are people like Bill Russell.
I know.
And people like Kareem. And I love Venus and Serena, but Billie Jean King is more important than they are.
Right.
Okay. Billie Jean King is the reason why they have what they have.
Correct.
And
Indeed.
And that sort of thing. But I mean, it's just, and LeBron James is that way.
I agree.
I mean, I can't breathe T-shirts where that was LeBron James.
It ain't close when it comes to that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
We are Trayvon Martin.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was LeBron James. The league started registering voters and all that at their arenas because of LeBron James.
All right, Ro.
Thank you, Ro.
Thank you so much
man.
for calling in. Lord's blessings. Have a great day. OT, what you got? Thank you for coming back.
Man, first of all, thank you. Look, I want to address a few things. Hey, Ro, look, I will take a look at my schedule to see when I can participate. A couple of things. Let's support this radio station, man. I've had people ask me if I'm still on the radio. Well, if you were listening, you would know that I have not been for quite some time. It's important to support the Tribune, to support the Weekly, to support WBOK, and let's support them with our money. But also, the last time I was on a radio show, the watchers, the gatekeepers, went back and told people, well, OT said, hey, man, stop it, right? We don't disparage anybody. All we do is give out information. We try to share. Stop the step and fetch it stuff. Going back to your boss, your political boss, and what OT said. OT wants the city to do well. I want this station to do well, and I want you to do well. Stop it, right? But support this media outlet. It's important.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it. Good show, and even better show because you were here, my man.
Boy, you're going to make me blush. And I'm red already.
All right. We got to get out of here, make room for the front porch. And after that, we got Tavis Smiley. And then after that, we got the G-Man and the Reality Check. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.